My name's Paul, and I am a Business Boost Officer for Newcastle University. I've only been in the job since October, and my job is to be the bridge between social science researchers and business and industry in all its shapes and forms. And when they were recruiting for the job, they were looking for somebody who understood fully about recruitment and a variety of businesses. And I've been made redundant so many times in my life, 6 times so far, that obviously I know a lot about the interview process, recruitment, and a variety of interests, a variety of industries. Being made redundant is very freeing, you'd be surprised to hear, because it gets you to do stupid things like this, standing on the stage trying to entertain you lot, and also doing a weird array of stuff, like, in fact, you may indeed recognise me, because I spent a lot of time as a field market researcher, stopping people in the street and asking them about mayonnaise, or sometimes condoms, or sometimes both. They were rather surprised. You should recognise me, and in fact, I recognise you because you ignored me in Northumberland Street in October 2011, and I remember that, even if you don't. But being made redundant isn't all fun. Suddenly you find yourself at home unexpectedly, and having to explain what's happened. Sorry, it's got a bit dark there, hasn't it? The first time it happened, I was at home suddenly on gardening leave and had to explain to my wife what had happened. When I get home, she's in the bath, and obviously we had to pick up the pieces and start again. But strangely, the next 3 times that I was made redundant, I got home and found my wife was in the bath. And in fact, the last time it happened, I got home unexpectedly about 3 o'clock. Tracy's in the bath, and she said, "What are you doing home early?" And I said, "Well, it's 3 o'clock. You're in the bath and I'm here unexpectedly. What are you?" No, it wasn't that. It was that I'd been made redundant again. It's got really bad now. She's frightened to have a bath. I've taken a sledgehammer to the bath, had a wet room put in completely in the hopes that this will keep me in the job a little bit longer. As I said, I've only been in the job since October. Thank you. I've only been in the job since October, and obviously we have targets to meet. I'm sure you do in your jobs as well. And some of them are going really well, some of them not so much, and some of them are really particularly iffy, to the point where I thought I'd better phone home. So I phoned Tracy and said, "You're not by any chance thinking about putting the bath in again, are you?" And she said, she assured me not, so hopefully this job will last a little bit longer. But if it does last a little bit longer, that means that I can continue to have the joy that is the metro system. Isn't the metro system a joy? The upholstery, the reliability. I mean, it is just fantastic, isn't it? The other day, I was about to get on the metro to go to work, and there was one last seat to get, and obviously I was going to get that, so it was elbows out, and I'm heading for that seat. And as I approached it, I realised that the free seat was on the inside, which is a little odd, but obviously that happens. And as I approached the seat to sit down, the lady begrudgingly moved her bag for me to sit. So as I'm sitting, her bag's coming up, and as it sort of passed my head, I got a distinct whiff of ham, which I thought was very odd for 8:30 in the morning, but you know, each to their own. So I took my seat, and I was sitting there for no more than 30 seconds when I felt a distinct moisture coming through the upholstery and through my trousers. And now, of course, it's too late to jump up and say, "Oh my God, that seat's wet," because I am British and I don't want to attract attention to myself, which of course is why I'm here this evening. So yes, I now have to ride it out, all the time thinking at some point I'm going to have to get up from this seat and walk through the station with damp trousers. And I thought long and hard about how to describe to you how I walked with damp trousers. At first I thought pinched was a good word, but now I've decided clenched is a much better word. Yes, I walked in a clenched manner through the metro station, trying to keep the material away from my nether regions, and headed to the office, straight to the gents to find out what was going on behind me. Stripped down to my Spider-Man underpants and held up my trousers to the light to find there's 2 distinct circles of dampness, one on each cheek. And I've convinced myself that that was ham juice. I mean, what else could it be that would cause a seat to be wet at 8:30 in the morning? Obviously I didn't sniff it, because that would be weird. But yeah, what it means is that that's fine. And for the rest of the day, every time I walk past, people were saying, "Can you smell ham?" But yes, as I said, I've done many things previous to this. I said you might well recognise me. I spent some time as a photographic model. You can tell, can't you? It's in the way I hold myself. I don't mean like that. I mean it's in the way. It's in the way I stand. You can tell I'm comfortable in front of a camera. And I got into this because I've been made redundant yet again. Got home early, Tracy's in the bath, and here's a leaflet from a model agency asking for new recruits. And they said they were looking for ordinary people. And I thought, well, yeah, I could be ordinary, and made an appointment to go along. And it was in Newcastle, a little bit off the beaten track, through a dark and dingy doorway, up about 5 flights of stairs, past a load of empty offices, to find a very pleasant lady who was the representative of the model agency. And she explained to me how it would work if I decided to take them up on the offer. And she showed me some photographs of the other models, and no, it was very tasteful. There was nothing like that. There was a photograph of John as a pharmacist, and John as a dentist, and Mary as a lecturer, and Mary as a shop assistant. And she said they needed all sorts of shapes, sizes, creeds, colours, ages, for a variety of jobs. And she said sometimes they needed people with particularly good physical attributes. And I thought, yeah. Well, no, it's not what you're thinking. It's things like ears and toes and things. And I said, yeah, do you know, I've always thought I had particularly good hands for a fella. And she said, show me then. I thought, like that. She said, my God, your hands are good. She said, we gave a job away to somebody whose hands the other day who weren't half as good as yours. You're all looking at my hands now, aren't you? and so yeah, I signed up with them and did some holding for them. It's surprisingly lucrative, actually, yes, it was. I said it was well paid, and yes, there are photographs, and yes, you can buy them, but they are quite expensive because it's a niche market. And no, I'm not going to tell you what it was that I was holding, but yeah, the money rolled in, and yes, I'm still on their books. In fact, they rang me just the other week and said, "Hi, Paul, do you still look the same?" Yeah, I think so. And I heard them do this. Who is he supposed to be again? And she said, anyway, if you can come to the assembly rooms next Thursday and you'll meet the crowd, and we'll sort it out from there. So yeah, I went along to the assembly rooms. I should put the phone down. I went along to the assembly rooms and met my colleagues for the day, who were a very pleasant young lady with red hair, and an older bloke, late 60s, grey hair and glasses. And we were supposed to be the pop idol panel for the day for an advertising campaign for Metro Radio. And yes, I was Simon Cowell. Yeah. You can see, can't you? Actually, if I do this, you can see. Or maybe if I do this a bit, yeah, you can see the Simon Cowell now, can't you? So yes, I was Simon Cowell stand-in, and the campaign was really well received. At one stage, every billboard in the Northeast had a photograph of me as Simon Cowell on it. In fact, the Monument Metro station, every billboard at one stage was covered in photographs of me as Simon Cowell. In fact, the very day that I was walking through the station in a clenched manner, every photograph was of me as Simon Cowell. So yeah, so you do recognise me. I'm the bloke who looks a little bit like Simon Cowell and occasionally smells a ham. Thank you, I've been Paul.